Hey everyone, ever just look down at your plate and wonder what's really in there? I mean, beyond just tasting good, today we're going to break it all down piece by piece into the essential building blocks. So let's dive right in.
Just look at this spread. Every single thing on this table, every bite you take, it's so much more than just, flavor. It's the actual fuel that powers your entire day. And it's also the raw material your body uses to build and repair itself. Pretty amazing when you think about it, right?
No, really, think about it for a second. What's actually going on inside your food on like a microscopic level? It's kind of a mystery, right? Well, today we're going to peel back all those layers and find out exactly what's hiding inside.
And the big answer to that mystery? It all comes down to one word: nutrients. That's the secret ingredient. These are the substances we get from our food that literally keep our bodies healthy and running. You could say they are the true building blocks of life. All right, so let's start with our first category. I want you to think of these as the body's main fuel source, the stuff that gets us up and moving every single day. We're talking about the energy givers. And first up in the energy department, carbohydrates. The analogy I love for this is thinking of your body like a car. If your body is the car, then carbs are the high-octane fuel that gives you that instant burst of speed. And yeah, that's pretty much their main gig. It's that simple. When your body needs to do, well, anything, walking, thinking, even just breathing, it's the carbs it turns to first for that super fast, super efficient energy boost. So where are we getting all this awesome, quick energy? Well, it's in a lot of the foods we love. Rice, bread, potatoes, and of course, pasta. There's a really good reason these are staples in diets all over the world. They're what powers our day-to-day lives. Okay, but what happens when that quick fuel starts to run a little low? What then? That's where our next energy giver steps in: lipids. You and I probably just call them fats. Think of these guys as the body's backup generator, or maybe like its long-term energy storage warehouse.
And fats are super interesting because they have this really important two-part job. On one hand, they are amazing at storing huge amounts of energy for later, but they're also absolutely essential for producing hormones. The chemical messengers that regulate so many of our body's processes. And you'll find these essential fats in foods like olive oil, nuts, creamy avocados, and even in fish like salmon. They're the ones that give you that slow, steady energy release and help keep all your internal systems in balance. So important. Okay, so we've got the fuel for our body covered. Now let's talk about the nutrients that are basically its bricks and mortar. It's time to meet the bodybuilders.
And the head foreman of this construction site? That would be protein. Seriously, think of proteins as the tiny construction crew inside your body, constantly working, building new stuff, and making repairs wherever they're needed.
Proteins are absolutely vital for growth, especially for kids and teenagers. But for all of us, they build and maintain our muscles. And get this, they're the first responders that rush in to repair damaged tissue, whether it's a paper cut or muscle fibers you tore during a workout. So where do we get these incredible building materials? From foods like meat, fish, eggs, beans, and dairy products. Think milk and cheese. Literally, every time you eat these foods, you're sending a supply drop to your body's little construction crew. Okay, so we've got our energy source and our building materials. But who's the project manager? Who's making sure everything works together smoothly and on schedule? Well, let's meet them, the body regulators. And that brings us to our final group, vitamins and minerals. Now, we might only need them in tiny amounts compared to the others, but trust me, their role is absolutely massive. They're the ones who oversee all the complicated, crazy chemical reactions happening inside our bodies every second. Their job description sounds simple, but it's incredibly profound. They regulate the body's functions. I'm talking about everything from helping your eyes adjust to the dark, to making sure your nerves fire correctly, to keeping your immune system strong. They're truly the unsung heroes of our food. And where do we find these amazing little regulators? You guessed it, the best sources are a huge variety of fruits and vegetables. You know that saying, eat the rainbow? Well, it's true. Eating all those different colors makes sure your body gets the diverse team it needs to really operate at its best. Okay, let's pause for a second. We've got our energy givers, our builders, and our regulators. We know what they are and what they do, but how do we actually measure the energy they give us? Is there a unit for that? Of course there is, and the answer brings us to a word that I'm sure you've heard a million times: calories. That's it. That's the unit we use to measure the energy that's locked inside our food. So what even is a calorie, really?
At its core, it's just a unit of energy. That's all. Our body uses that energy for, well, everything, from running a marathon all the way down to just keeping your heart beating while you're fast asleep. But here's a key thing to remember. Not everyone needs the same amount of fuel. It's totally personal. Your own energy needs depend on things like your age, your gender, and your size. It just makes sense, right? A growing teenager or a pro athlete is obviously going to need more calories than someone who's smaller and has a desk job.
So let's put it all together in one place. Look at this. We've got our carbohydrates for that quick burst of energy. We have our fats for long-term storage and hormones. Proteins are there to build and repair. And finally, vitamins and minerals are running the whole show, regulating everything. When you see it like this, it's a pretty amazing system, isn't it?
So there you have it. You're now equipped with the basic blueprint of what's on your plate. You know about the fuel, the building blocks, the managers, the whole shebang. So the only real question left is, thinking of your food as a set of tools, what are you going to build with your next meal?